From Los Angeles, here's Everyday Woman.
Welcome to Everyday Woman. Today we have special guest co-host with us, Joseph Renee. Welcome to the show.
Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
First of all, love the bow tie. You look fantastic.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
I want to thank you because the show came together today because of you.
Thank you. It's really important, and thank you for having me.
Well, tell us about what's so important to you and what you're doing.
Right now, what's so important is our 120th anniversary.
Whose 120th anniversary?
Friends Indeed.
Friends
in
Indeed.
Pasadena. Friends Indeed is getting ready to celebrate 120 years at the Castle Green on November 5th.
Okay.
It's going to be an amazing event that Fritz Coleman and I will be co-hosting and hosting. And it is benefiting Friends Indeed, which is a nonprofit here in the northern Pasadena area. Can you imagine 120 years?
Wow. It's 120 years of giving back. So what is your involvement in Friends Indeed?
I'm an ambassador for Friends Indeed. I help them with everything from fundraising to publicity to mailing envelopes out.
So Joseph, why is it so near and dear to your heart?
It's so important for me to give back to the community, especially to this cause. I grew up as a ward of the LA County court system. I moved like 36 times. I went to 10 high schools, and then I was on my own after being coming from an abusive childhood, and then on my own at 17. So even though I'm a guy, obviously, a handsome one, to me, to give back to the community is really important.
What was your experience like being a ward of the state?
It was a challenging experience back in those days, not that it was that long ago. You know, once you were at 17 and a half, 18, you were done. Now they keep you to your about 22, 23, and they really try to guide you and mentor you more. What do you know at that age, 17?
Yeah. No, nothing.
What do you know at this age?
Right.
I won't
Did
tell
you
my
feel
age,
like Did you feel like you were prepared to hit the world?
When are we ever prepared? But I did have perseverance. I always believed in helping people out, and so seeing people down and out, women, children, men.
How did you avoid that pitfall? Because, you know, it is one of the stereotypes of being a ward of the state to, you know, become someone who's having a more difficult time in life, and you've really turned that into a positive experience.
So I just, you know, falling down, getting back up, seeing life's adversity in other people kind of scared me into staying on that positive road, stepping up and giving back because there's always somebody out there worse off. I've been a stylist in a salon for 20 years, so I've worked around women. Okay. And that's how I fell upon a Friends Indeed and the Women's Room in Pasadena.
Beauty?
Beauty. I've donated.
We all need a little, what is it you say? We all need a little
enhancement. But a little enhancement doesn't hurt, right?
Right, exactly. And that does mean so much to not only women, but I'm sure to you as well. What is it about the beauty industry that intrigued you?
The ability to give back, the ability to make people feel better, look better about themselves, have their inner spirit lifted.
Transformation.
Well, and Anna's in the beauty industry as well.
And it's hard. It's so hard because I've given back a lot just like you. And I mean, you put so much of your time, right?
Time, effort, manual labor. Supplies.
That means your own money.
But at the end of the day, it's so worth it. Like this cause, Friends Indeed, celebrating 120 years. Can you imagine in the city of Pasadena giving back to women that are down and out, their children, families, our bad weather bed shelter.
I
that
heard
we
this
have.
story too. Somebody was telling me a story about you, and it wasn't the hairstyling part, but something about you ran a marathon, right?
Last year, I did raise $7,000 through the
Wow.
art. Thank you. But the praise goes to these women and people that are battling cancer.
Okay, so rewind. You decided to run a marathon.
Yeah, and I raised $7,000 through the art of hair.
$7,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about. I mean, yes, you raise funds, but
Amazing.
I heard a little birdie told me what happened behind the
What?
scenes.
Is there a bird around
There
here?
is the bird around here. So
Where?
then my question would be, about the hotel situation.
Oh my gosh. 4 months of fundraising. Okay. I mean, blood, sweat, and tears, like you said, through the art of hair to raise $7,000 plus for a guest of mine that passed away of 6 years of struggling with breast cancer, another guest that was going through, and people that I've known past and present. But then I was like, wait a minute, I don't even have a place to sleep in Santa Barbara. So I slept behind the hotel in my car.
Wait, so you raised $7,000 because you didn't have a place to sleep the day of the event?
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean,
And you still ran.
you know what? You got to just go
'Cause it's in the
and
heart.
do, and it's in the heart. You're passionate about
Wow.
something, and you'll just do it with no excuses.
Wow.
And that's what brings me here now with Friends Indeed. No excuses. Step up, do what you have to do, make a difference in somebody's life, and just just do it. That's what I
Well,
say.
thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you as part of the show. Stay tuned for more Everyway
Thank
Woman.
you.
Welcome back to Everyway Woman. So I'd like to welcome Marlene to the show, case manager from Friends Indeed. Tell us a little bit about the program.
Friends Indeed has been around for quite a while, and we have a few programs that.
Okay, not quite a while. 120
120
years.
That's a long time.
Yes, it's been around for 120 years. It first started off with a couple of churches knowing that there was something that needed to be done in the community, that there were needs out there. And
this is the community of Pasadena.
Yes. And they formed something that was called the Fathers Union. And throughout the years, it has evolved to what is now Friends Indeed.
Is this for men and women, or is this?
Depending on the program. We have a few programs. 3 of the main programs that we have is the pantry, and that one is open to the community as long as you're low income or no income, obviously. That's open to all sexes, families, adults.
Children.
And that's a food pantry. You come and get groceries, and it's there to help supplement your monthly or weekly grocery bill. Another one of our programs is a bad weather shelter, which is opening up. It's only during winter season, so we're getting ready to open that up.
We do have weather in Southern California. You
Yes.
might not
Crazy
believe
weather.
it, but
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes, and so that one caters, obviously, this season, unfortunately, due to funding, we could only cater to adults and no children. We used to be able to cater to families, but because grants are
low.
scarce and everything, we
Is
just,
that because of the cuts in state funding?
it has a lot to do with everything, but even personal funding, everything. It's
So what is
just
it that you need though for that particular
money and
Makes the
volunteers
world go
and
round.
yes.
What would the volunteers do? I'm sorry. What would the volunteers do?
Volunteers, we have many volunteers, and our volunteers tend to help out, providing the dinner that night
Okay.
for the shelter when it's open.
Now, how can people get more involved to help raise money?
They could always go on our website,
Okay.
and our website is friendsindeedpass.org,
Okay.
and PASS is just PAS. Or just call us, and we're glad to give you information. And our phone number is 626-797-2402. And I can't emphasize how much we need our programs. There is a need still out there in our community.
Tell us about the need in the
I'm
community.
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was reading your motto is together we do what we cannot do alone.
It's doing together what we cannot do alone.
Right.
And
So powerful.
and it's a group
Yes.
effort.
Yeah.
It's a group effort. I can't help out a whole group. We need people to come and provide, whether it's just someone to come and talk to, whether it's
Tell us about the people in need.
the people in need they need, whether it's food. There's a lot of people that can't provide to fill up the refrigerators. Rent prices are so high, just things like that. There's also people
safe
that are
place
living
to
on the
sleep.
street. Exactly. And we also provide a warm meal in one of our programs called the Women's Room.
Okay.
And that's open 4 days out of the week. And it came up that there was a lot of programs out there for homeless individuals. But there was no program for homeless women that did not have drug addictions or mental problems. And that's how it started.
So this is for people that the Women's Room, you say, doesn't have like a drug problem or any substance abuse, or so it's just for people that like lost their job, something happened.
Just people in need, women in need, women that want to come and
Take a shower.
are alone, want to take a shower, want to take a nap. We offer laundry services for these ladies as well. And above all that, we also provide community. Many ladies are alone, especially homeless individuals. They might not have a friend to talk to or whatnot, and this is all that we provide there.
That makes it positive. My question, though, Marlene, is directly to you. I know being a case manager, for you, it's not just a job. What makes it so passionate for you, or is this passionate for you?
It is very passionate for me. I literally leave work feeling happy. My heart feels good. It feels warm. There's rough days, trust me, especially when someone comes to you asking you for help and you can't help them. The main problem is
You've had to turn someone away?
That's
many times. Many times.
Why though? What makes them?
Just, it's just depending on what it is that they're asking. There's not resources out there, enough resources out there for people. If someone comes asking me I can only afford $300 of rent. Well, where in the world are we going to find this, especially here in Pasadena, right? So sometimes I have to turn them away now. But it makes me feel good knowing that at least we have this program for them, the Women's Room.
You speak with so much passion regarding what it is that you do, and what is, I know you need more funding and everything, and for our viewers, what would be something that you would tell them?
Celeste, that's a great question, and I know we'll provide more information on that on the web, and we're going to hear more stories. Joining us is special guest host Dorothy, friend, spokesperson, and volunteer at Friend Indeed. But Celeste, I want to come back to your question to Marlene.
Right. Well, my question was, what is your fear? Not getting the word out. You were mentioning that you were underfunded. So.
Yes. Well, my greatest fear is that if we don't get the funding, our programs that are much needed in the community they're just going to be gone. And like I said, I just want your viewers, if they could go and visit our website and donate, donate money, that would be
and
great.
If you can't have money to donate, donating time means
donating
just
time,
as
we're
much.
always in need of volunteers.
Speaking of volunteers, beautiful woman right next to you, Dorothy. Tell us about your participation in the program.
Actually, I utilized the Women's Room when I was homeless for 7 years, and I lived on the streets here in Pasadena. When I was housed through Housing Works, I moved 3 doors down from the Women's Room. And I was really heavy into an addiction, drug and alcohol addiction. And so when I decided to get sober, clean and sober, I started going to the Women's Room all the time.
What was that moment for you when you decided to get clean and sober?
What was it like?
Yeah,
what were you thinking?
What was the breaking point?
My life was just a mess. It was very sad. Just a lot of disappointment in myself.
I'm sorry, we were talking backstage, and I was remembering that what a lot of people, homelessness. What was the event? What was that led you to be on the streets?
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Yes.
Would you like to?
I was clean and sober for 5 years at the time. I worked at Beatles Cafeteria here in Pasadena, and I had a very abusive relationship, and I had 2 black eyes, and I had to call and quit my job. And I never missed a day. I was never late. I was very responsible. Shortly thereafter, I became homeless, And then I got really heavy into my drug addiction.
How long
what
were
was
you?
that? I'm sorry. What was that like, living on the streets and not having a warm bed to sleep and not having not knowing if you will wake up the next morning?
It got to the point where the comforts of home were no longer existed. It was just the demeaning feeling that you felt when people looked at you and like you were invisible, like you didn't matter and you didn't count. That's what took the toll on me the hardest.
Did you believe that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Ultimately, I came to believe that I was worthless. My self-esteem was just, there was nothing left. I was an empty shell. And I was an empty shell on drugs.
Tell us about that moment that actually you realized that you wanted help.
Well, when I was found during the 2011 homeless census, and I was interviewed, and Housing Works housed me, and my case manager told me, the stipulations are not that you have to quit using drugs or get mental help, but we would appreciate that you think about these things, and that once you become more stable, that you make better decisions for yourself. And I got to the point where I felt like it was hindering me. And ever since I quit using drugs and alcohol, I've just shot up straight to the sky.
And you're doing so many good things, right?
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
I sit on the City of Pasadena Partnership for Ending Homelessness. I am a peer support volunteer for Housing Works. I just graduated from an advocacy training program for Corporation for Supportive Housing, and last month I was voted as a board member.
That's just amazing.
So many
though.
things are going on in your life. What is it that keeps you clean and sober?
Well, like I say this all the time, when I leave my house, the women's room is for homeless women and women at risk. When I was homeless, I was on the other side of town, and I didn't know really much about the women's room until I moved there, and I just believe that God put me right where I was just because of that place. So when I get to the end of my driveway, I can make a left and go to the dope house, or I can make a right and go to the safe house, which is the women's room. What makes you turn right? The women's room.
Dorothy, what if you never would have found this program?
The women's room?
Mm-hmm. What would have happened?
Man.
I mean, do you see like your life in that sense? Like,
when I moved into my house and I finally quit using drugs and I was okay enough to go outside because I isolated a lot and I kept myself locked in my house at first. I didn't live there very long with my addiction, but I couldn't dream of what it would be like without it there.
So they did a
Today
lot for
I
you.
bake there, and I take, there's a lot of great volunteers. The women are we're a family.
I'm so glad you found that family, and we're so very proud of you. For more information on how you can go and give back, go to friendsindeedpass.org. We'll be back with more Every Way Woman. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That was
Thank you.
beautiful.
You did so.
We're back with a 2-minute blast just to recap the stories we've heard from Friends Indeed today. I know, Marlene, it's been such a pleasure having you, and it's really brought up a lot of different feelings, especially about homelessness.
When I first started working there, everybody has some sort of idea of why it is someone's homeless, and you have these stereotypes. What I've learned throughout my years is that anyone could be homeless for any circumstances. Not everyone is a drug user or a mental illness. Sometimes it's just circumstances, financial circumstances, especially in a time like this when rent is so high, everything's becoming so expensive, and pay is still very low. And then with the with the whole employment going down, and it's just it could happen to anyone. So I really, really want to make sure that the community is aware of our fundraiser that's going to happen November 5th at Castle Green, celebrating our 120th anniversary.
Is it a free event?
Wow. Excuse me?
Is it a free
event?
event?
It is not a free event.
Okay.
Tickets are $120.
Okay.
It's all going towards a great cause. Obviously, it's to try to alleviate the the burden of people who are very low income or no income.
Right.
And so please visit our website, and I'm pretty sure it'll be on your guys' website.
People are going to be able to purchase the tickets
Via email,
Okay.
call us, However it is that you want.
Is it going to take place?
It is November 5th at 6 p.m. at Castle Green, all here in Pasadena.
Okay.
So just please go out there and support us. And
Do you need any volunteers for that?
I'm not too sure, but just have people give me a call, and I'll make sure and I give them all as much information as possible. We also need other donations and volunteers for all our other programs. There's only 5 employees there at Friends Indeed. Everyone else that you see there,
5 employees.
Well, everyone there are volunteers, and like
That's
our
so
motto
powerful.
is doing together what we cannot do alone. Our volunteers are worth so much, and we couldn't do it without them. So please call us.
It's so beautiful, Marlene, that you've created a community of people who have come as clients and then continue to serve as volunteers once they're back on their feet. You're really doing something so powerful in
Yeah,
the
we
community.
continue on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And being
you,
here and sharing your
actually.
story.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Definitely opened up my eyes.
And if anyone ever wants to come, we'll be glad to give you guys a free tour. Well, free tour. What?
A tour around.
A tour around our facilities, and you'll see yourselves, firsthand how great it is.
Well, and I've heard
Thank you.
myself firsthand, and I know it's really touched my heart, especially with homelessness. And, it is a fear of mine that's crossed my mind before.
All of us.
Sure.
And-
Mine
All of us.
too.
Mine too.
All of us.
It's amazing. Blink
All
of
of
an
us.
eye.
I mean, Nikki, what was the
happen.
point where you were afraid that this
Moving out
homeless would
here
happen to you?
and bouncing around from job to job and places, and I'm just thinking, wow, I came from security and here I am on my own, and I have to provide for myself. I mean, of course I have my parents, but still, it's just the thought of this could be me. What makes me different from them?
Yeah.
My life can change just like that, and it scared me.
I remember
completely.
having $50 in my bank account.
Yeah.
No job, $500 worth of rent due in 2 days, and I didn't know what I was going to do.
I remember being on my last 20 and eating a cup of noodles. No, it
Spaghettios.
happened.
Spaghettios.
I had a job. I had a nice publishing job and everything, and then I got fired 4 days before insurance, had no money, and then I got cancer.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, luckily I live, my family's here, but those could have been my circumstances as well.
Exactly.
It doesn't discriminate
This just gave me chills.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it doesn't discriminate
at all. No,
It doesn't.
It doesn't care who you are,
If you
what
have a
are,
family,
what you do.
But that's the thing, you got to be quick to get up on
and
your
that's what
feet
Friends
and-
Indeed is there. We're there to try to, if we can't help you physically, we can at least lend an ear and a shoulder to cry on.
Right.
and a lot of people need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Just someone to listen and say, "I'm here for you."
And you're not alone.
Yeah,
You're not, you're not alone. You will find a home with Friends Indeed.
Exactly.
I think that is wonderful, and I love your motto.
yeah.
Yeah, can't do it alone.
Because a lot of people have a hard time reaching out and, forming that sense of community. And what the organization does is give people hope that, again,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
there is no hopelessness in homelessness.
There's no hopelessness and homelessness. Thank
Exactly.
you, Marlene. We really
you.
appreciate
Thank
it. For
you.
more
Thank you,
information,
guys.
go to everywaywoman.com. We'll see you next time. Everyway Woman gives back to the community. Go to everywaywoman.com to find out how you can match our donations of undergarments for needy kids. Thanks for getting to know Everyway Woman.
Whether I'm just waiting or sitting at home, staying just to wash my clothes, I'm gonna go and live my life. If that means working 9 to 5, cause I'm an everyway woman. I'm an everyway woman. Independent, know I meant it, it's no surprise. Hard working 24/7, man, I've gotta tell 'em I'm an everyway woman. Are you an everyway woman? Whether I'm just waiting or sitting at home, staying just to wash my clothes, I'm gonna go and live my life. If that means working 9 to 5, cause I'm an everyway woman. I'm an everyway woman.